This monstrosity is a UTV deck. Many reasons people own them. Reason I own one is to tow a smaller trailer. This car won't fit in that trailer. So I can get anywhere I want, use my small trailer, take almost any car I want. This deck will only fit up to old generation 4-seater or something like this. But they do come in short bed, long bed, extra wide, extra long, lots of different makers. This is a toy up, and I'm going to show you how to use it, how to load it, how to slide it in and out of your bed, how to tie it down, and let you know they're not as crazy as they may seem going down the highway. Okay, so these are the ramps. Pretty heavy duty. These are aluminum. The rack is steel. But this is how I operate them. Put them up like that. Kind of start to bring it into position. And then it's important to have these hooks hook into the ramp. Like so. You don't need to tie anything down. Like, you could put a strap from here to here to keep this from ripping out, but if you're smooth on the throttle, it's not going to rip out. These little things will keep it from coming off the rack. Obviously, you want to make sure this area is fairly even. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want one big rock, on one side and not the other. But even if it's not completely even, you want to check these little parts out up here. These little tabs right here actually keep the ramp from rocking, no matter what what's uneven in the back. So you got a little extra safety right there. Okay, one more safety check before you drive it up there. You obviously hop out of the car and make sure your ramp is lined up with your tires. It's common sense, but it's something I always do. So this one is, 77 inches wide, maybe slightly longer. That's about the max this ramp will take. So as long as I move them all the way to the outside and it's even with that bar, we should be good to go. Okay, so I always wear my seatbelt going up here. You never know, something could fail. Maybe you should wear a helmet. I don't usually wear a helmet, but I do wear my seatbelt. Just, if it did start to rock or do something weird, it's nice to be stable in your seat. Okay, so obviously you want to be in low, 4-wheel drive. You don't need diff lock or anything like that, but just 4-wheel drive helps with the traction if your tires are cold or something. But obviously low when you climb these ramps. Easy as that. All right, this is probably the trickiest part, is getting in and out. So what I do is I'll use that little stool and the tire, step on the tire, and that stool, boom. I keep the stool in the back of the truck. It's always handy to get in and out of the truck anyway, but I'll do it in reverse. I'll climb back up there. Got to find something to grab onto. So just in case you were wondering, this vehicle on my truck, which I know is not lifted, but we're right at 11 feet. Most bridges are at 14 feet on the highway. Of course, small towns could have smaller bridges, but I always measure because I put so many different vehicles up here. I measure, I write it on my dash if I'm going to a small town, and there might be a bridge. Needles, California has one. West Virginia has them. They have some maybe lower than 12 foot, but just so you know, and you got it top of mind, we're right about 11 feet on this one. Okay, so on this car, I'm gonna use a soft tie to strap the ratchet strap to. Every car is different, so you got to figure out what ratchet strap and tie downs work for you. But these are the ones that come with a toy up. I'm sure the other manufacturers have a different style. Just go right in like that. Make sure you get a couple wraps around there, and then make sure this, actually, I need to move that. Make sure that is all the way against something, because if it's over here, you're going to go down the road and it's going to slide that way as you go down the road. I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, I'm going to use a soft tie again for this car. Put that in there. I do like these ratchet straps because they have the hook so it can't come undone, even if it does start bouncing down the road. And then again, wrap around here. Make sure it's going to be up against this other one. Don't do it here or else it'll slide. Okay, so this one's pulling the car forward, this one's pulling the car backwards. Once we get that on the other side, we're good to go. That's not going anywhere, right? One more thing I do to stabilize the load. This truck has airbags, so I carry a little compressor with me because it doesn't have an onboard one, but just add a little bit of pressure. I run about 50 pounds. Keeps everything in check. So this is my homemade platform. Toy Up sells a nice aluminum one that's actually the same height as your tailgate, so then it's a little easier to slide on and off. But as you can see, you could do anything. You could have a pair of sawhorses, you could have a table. I used to use an old trailer, an ATV trailer that was the same height, and that was really easy because once you hook the trailer up to your ball, everything is staying together, so it's really easy to muscle that thing on and off. But as you can see, it's not that heavy to slide. Sure, it's heavy to lift, but not that heavy just to slide in and out of your truck. And then to attach it to the truck, it's just 4 turnbuckles that go to the stock tie down points. Put that in there, tighten that up. Crescent wrench or a tire iron or something to tighten that up a little bit, and then you can always just leave that in the truck, so then you can snug it up. After you get the car on it, it'll weigh down and these might loosen up a little bit. You can snug them again. case you were wondering, this white tube is a flag holder. The guy got this from, when he got to camp, he'd put a flag in that tube right there. Another tip when you're sliding it in and out, if you think it's heavy, you can always put a little piece of conduit or PVC pipe, like Schedule 40 thick stuff, under here, and then on top of that roll, it's basically a roller on top of that, it really slides right in. You could do that sliding in and out. Just lift that up a little bit, slide that piece of pipe under, cut it perfectly to go in your wheel wells there, and it'll help you slide that in and out. Another thing too, if you have a super heavy car and you want a little more security, you can get what's called, it's like a camper hook to go on here, and then basically you get a tube that ties into your frame, comes out to here, and then you link those two together. Just gives you a little more security. Not that these bed things are going to break, but you know, if you're going for like massive you know, security and tie down strength, you can always add those camper hooks, and just for a little bit of extra.